And if you do mind, we're going to get started anyway.
That's the typical way of telling you to shut the fuck up.
Hey, I'm CR, and I'm one of the Smokey Guys.
And I'm KP, and we're back, and we're still smoking.
That's right. What are you smoking?
I'm smoking a TAA exclusive from Kristoff Cigars, one of our favorite brands and one of our favorite reps for the area. Louis George is one of the coolest, most just straight up dudes. He's run sound for us. I mean, anything to sell a cigar, this guy will do it apparently. So he's lugged gear for the band. I mean,
almost slept on your couch.
yeah, he's gone to dinner with me and my mom and my kids. So I mean, he's kind of been willing to do anything it takes to sell me a cigar or two. If you haven't been to a Kristoff event, you know, in the last couple years, this right here is the box. It's a really fine cigar. Again, reach out and get some of those, because I think I got a couple of the last boxes that were in Oklahoma, and I'm very sad to say that I'm probably down to my last 3 or 4. But I have, as we do, share with our friends. And
I was going to say, I can tell you why you're almost out, because you keep giving them away because you're like, oh, you got to try this. Oh, you got to try this.
Yeah, I do that. I'll find a cigar I really like, and then I give it out, and then next thing I know, I'm out of it, because it's usually something that's exclusive or a very short run, short batch type of thing, and yeah, and I should probably rethink that, or rethink how many friends I have. I don't know.
Well, I can say Kristoff has been one of my favorite cigar brands for a long time. I got hooked on them back when I found the Pissed Off Kristoff, which is a nice, strong, Maduro, heavy cigar, and I fell in love with it. And then I was at the Oxford cigar shop, Spring Street, and they were having a Kristoff event, and I got to meet the I can never remember his title, but I think he's vice president or may even be one of the owners of Kristoff. But he was the guy that was with Louis 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago at Smokelahoma, there at the booth.
Heck yeah, could have been Glenn. Would have been my guess. I think he tends to come to events and hang out and do things like that. And kudos to you for remembering Spring Street and the name of it this time.
Yes, I went home and looked it up because I felt so bad about not being able to name drop them last time, because they're always so good to me there. They are officially a membership lounge in that you can go in and buy, and they've got a general area to sit, but then they've got a members area, and they have never given me a hard time about sitting in the members area. Members there are more than happy to share their alcohol if they've got it, and they always talk good cigars, so it's always fun to hang out there.
At least the first time. Pretty sure if I went, they would, no. You know, we'd go through a bottle or two, and then I'd be on the hook to provide the next time I went in.
There you go.
It's okay though.
That's the way it works, though. That's the way it works.
Cool. So how's your day been? I mean, we're a week or so removed from posting our first one in a long time, and at least I think we're a week or so. I don't know. I've slept and I've done that. So yeah. Just tell me a little bit about your day or your week or whatever you want to share with us.
I had an incredible morning. I went in for a scope, EGD, whatever.
Easy for you to spell.
Yeah, whatever the initials are. Just a 6-month follow-up scope for what all I've had done. And I got there, and I was in the original waiting room there at the hospital, and I couldn't help but get a weird vibe, because the last time I had been sitting right there was just before I went in the hospital in February, and I didn't get to go home for over a month. So it was one of those weird moments where I'm like, yeah, I don't like this.
You didn't just walk in like grandstanding, like, hey, I'm back and I'm alive and you can't do anything about it, and no. None of that.
No, not this time. Not this time. Although by the time I walked out, I felt like doing that, because when we moved from that registration area to actually where they do the endoscopy, The young lady at the counter, she looked at me as she took my paperwork, looked at my paperwork, and went, "Clint?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "You look amazing." I mean, her eyes got big, her face changed, and I didn't know exactly what to say, so I did what you do, and you go, "Well, thank you very much." And then I went, "Help me out here. How do I know you?" And she was great. She was like, "Oh, I was one of the transportation people back when you were here in March, and so I would haul you from ICU down to get your endoscopy." And she said, "And the difference between then and now is night and day. You look amazing." And I mean, you talk about brighten your day. Have some stranger, not a real stranger, but somebody you don't have a particular memory of, kind of glaze you up like that. It's awesome. Then I walked into the prep area and ran into a nurse that I had when I was down there before, and she said the same thing. The doctor gave rave reviews for my recovery, and even the anesthesiologist didn't recognize me at first. And when he did, he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're like 80 pounds lighter than last time I saw you."
It'd be so much easier to knock out now.
That's exactly. We had that exact conversation. I'm like, "Yeah, but don't adjust, because I love the good drugs."
Yeah.
So yeah, I had. Best part about it was I got to go home and then take a great nap because I was still slightly sedated.
Well, you're lucky it wasn't like House that was the doctor, because you would have walked in and not recognized somebody, and they would have said you had amnesia brought on by the cancer, which was brought on by the heart thing, which was brought. It would have just been a whole thing, and you'd
It
still
would
be
have
in
been
there.
lupus.
Yeah.
It's always lupus. That's a Pete line. It's always lupus. Yeah, we watch a lot of House around here, in case you're wondering.
Just one of those.
Chuck's back there chuckling.
Well, isn't that fitting?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, what do you think of the cigar so far? You're probably at least a
16th
of the way.
I love these cigars. You gave me one. When was that? For our wasn't an F1 race, because we just had our first F1 race in a while. I love these. They're absolutely spectacular. They're not quite as hard hitting as the Pissed Off Kristoff, which I think makes them a lot more manageable by your average smoker, instead of somebody who has smoked a lot and is really into the strong stuff. But I can say it's still a nice strong cigar. So you're not somebody who wants that bold cigar is not going to be missing something.
No, yeah, it definitely hits that mark for someone who it's not overly spicy. And it is a nice strong cigar, but it doesn't just totally, I guess, kill your taste buds or just overpower your taste buds with spice and stuff like that. But I was sitting here and I lit mine up and took several drags off of it, and then all of a sudden I got this really strong blueberry note, which I was not expecting. And then I remembered I had a blueberry beer that I was sipping on, so that could have something to do with it. You might want to watch what you drink whenever you're smoking cigars.
Yeah,
but
what you pair with it can have a strong effect on a cigar.
Funny thing is, it's a blueberry lager, and it actually works really good with this. It's a nice little kind of sweet fruitiness to the spice, and then it helps offset a little bit.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely worth another try.
Well, I find this one in particular to be very woody, not quite as earthy as like an Ashton or some of those, but more on the woodsy side. So cleaner, a little more fragrant, but not like peaty, woody.
Well, since we've talked a little bit about Kristoff, if you have a favorite Kristoff that you like to smoke, make sure to comment in the comment section below. Unless they move it to the top, then you might want to comment up there. But and also subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. But let us know what Kristoff you like to smoke, if you like to smoke any, or if you're looking for recommendations. Maybe everybody could drop some in there with some tasting notes that would tip somebody off as to what they like. The Compadres is a great like early morning cigar for me because I like a medium cigar in the morning. But man, they have there's a whole range of things that they like or that they create that I really enjoy. The Venti, was it 20th anniversary?
Was that the one they did for PCA last 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah,
that was a really good cigar.
It
still
was.
is a great cigar. You can still grab those. But yeah, just let us know what you think. We're big fans. But you said something that tipped me off. F1. We're back from summer break. This is the first race we've had. It's Zandvoort. It's the last time at that racetrack. The Orange Army was going crazy, thinking that Max may run away with it all. And if you haven't watched the race, we're going to spoil this for you. So you might want to like stop this, go watch the race, come back, and pick it up from there.
That's right. We're going to give you a 5-second countdown to run, watch the race, and then come back. 5, 4, 3, 2. If you're still here, then you know Max wrecked.
Yeah, like right off the bat. It wasn't even like he wasted any time. I think he was just anxious to get back on that big boat or get in his big plane and fly off somewhere.
The worst part was I was a few minutes late to the race, and I walk in trying to be a smart aleck going, hey, can we start this over? I missed the first few minutes. And you guys are like, well,
we've been red flagged.
We're still red flagged. And I'm like, what?
Lap 2, we got red flagged. And so, yeah, that gave you your extra 15 minutes. Maybe that was the whole thing. You colluded with Max to give yourself a little extra time.
That's right. I had my Buffalo Wild Wings button that I pushed, and it just sent Max spinning.
Yeah, he dipped a tire a little too far off the edge, and it had been raining, and it put him in the wall. But, I mean, to me, the bigger story was the wreck that actually happened almost happened right behind it, was Gabriel Bortoletto coming around the same exact corner, just a half a second behind maybe, and he does a complete 360, throwing up smoke, and his own teammate Hulkenberg just narrowly avoids him.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, well, it was a wild team day because you had that happen, then you had the Williams cars just almost take each other out before the end of the race. One of them ended up out, but they ended up wrecking into each other. So that was a close call. Then you had the Williams, not close call, actual hit. And there was almost a hit between Charles and Lewis.
Yeah.
Because they were racing tight.
And to keep it on point of smoke here, the restart from the red flag, I believe Kimmy's brakes were smoking. So, from a fan standpoint, I was hoping Kimmy did really well. From a fantasy standpoint, not so much. I was kind of hoping those brakes would just combust and the car would go up in flames, and he'd be safe and out of the car. But maybe he wouldn't get to continue. My fantasy points would go way up, and.
Well, see, I need him for my fantasy points because I forgot to set my team this year. I was kind of, in the hospital.
Not just this week, this year.
Yeah, this year. I was kind of in the hospital, and I missed the first several races of the season because of it. And so if I remember correctly, I think I had you or Schultz, I think it was you, just set my team for me. And the only instruction I gave was Mercedes and Cadillac. And I can't remember if I told you which driver I wanted.
So this is right where we have one of those Spider-Verse moments, because it's the one where the Spider-Man are pointing at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a text group, and I know somewhere it was me, producer Kev, and your wife, and we were all chiming in about who was going to try to get up there and get it set and everything. And I don't know where the ball got dropped, but somehow you ended up with a team that just didn't score a whole lot of points.
Well,
but it was very favorative to you because it was Cadillac, both Cadillac drivers, Mercedes and Kimmy, I think. So, yeah, hopes were high at that point for Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much now.
No. Now they have proven exactly why they hadn't been in F1 in a while. But I'm a Cadillac guy. I love my old Cadillacs. So I was fine with that, and I have stuck with it. This was a set it and forget it year for me. So I'm liable to end up last in the running
No.
this year.
Definitely not going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
One of our fellow fantasy F1 players managed to score minus 81 points this week. Shout out to Mr. Holloway. I know you're going to love hearing that, and all the tens of people that watch us will probably laugh and understand it. But
That's too funny. Well, did he forget to switch out a driver that didn't race this week, or what happened? I figured that was the case.
Yeah, Liam Lawson got bumped up to the main team at Red Bull, which caused Yuki Tsunoda to have to go into the Racing Bulls. Why did Liam get bumped up? Well, he was taking the place of Isaac Hadjar, who hurt his wrist in the off season, or the summer break, if you will.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure how you hurt your wrist. There's just bound to be some.
There's got to be some good reason.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, now, this being the last one at Zandvoort in the Netherlands, now, or as I call it, Dutchland.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to call it that. That's a whole other country, but it's the Netherlands, and the Dutch are from there, which makes no sense. I think they ought to be called the Neanderthals.
Right.
I think the Neanderthals ought to be from Netherlands. That just makes sense. And if it's going to be the Dutch that are from Netherlands, then it ought to be called Dutchland. But beyond that,
Join our Patreon, where CR will rename all of the European countries and their people.
what do you think? Why are they moving away from Zandvoort? Do you know?
I think it's just an aged track. I mean, it's small. It doesn't provide much overtakes. Rain can pop up at the drop of a hat. There's just a lot of things that, I mean, me as a fan, I enjoy having like spontaneous rain, and although I would like more overtakes, I mean, there's some there. There was a great one this weekend where we had a car that really just put everything on the line and went around somebody. It was awesome. So it's hard to say there's not overtakes, but there are very few overtakes, if you will. So, I think it's just producer Pete.
It was the venue owner.
Venue owner.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. We're getting.
Producer Pete has put in his 2 cents. He thinks the venue owner's responsible.
It's worth exactly what I paid for it. All 2 cents. Thank you.
Well, I know F1 keeps making changes because they keep trying to draw in a new audience. There are so many new American fans, and that means a lot of American money. And so I know some of the changes that have been made have been directly focused on that. And I didn't know if this was one of those decisions or not.
Sounds like the owner must just not have wanted to have the race anymore, which to me seems really wild. But I mean, there's a lot of other racing formats that can go through there, and maybe they're not quite as labor intensive, or
the economics may not work.
Yeah, exactly.
If they don't have a good use for that track a good portion of the year, it may be such an expensive outlay to have it ready for the race every year that they don't make it up in that one race weekend. I don't know.
Somebody in the know is bound to be watching. They could just comment and let us know why.
Or even better, if you have no clue,
you could speculate.
Make something up. That's what we do. That is exactly what sitting around smoking cigars does to you, is you decide that you know a little bit about everything and you can solve all the world's problems in about an hour and a half.
That's true.
So feel free to throw in your 2 cents as to what you think the reason is. Now, I know I am fairly new to F1. I could name some old F1 racers, Schumacher, Alonso. Okay, Alonso's still racing, but you're right. He is an old racer. But some of the old guys, Senna, those folks, I could name them because they were so huge. They were beyond F1. What got me into it was some of the guys here at the shop were into F1. And then I started watching Drive to Survive. Now, I know there are a lot of folks who have gotten into it because of Drive to Survive. What was your intro?
Well, yeah, I guess to reintroduce me to it was the same thing, hanging around here talking to these guys. As a kid, though, I was a huge Mario Andretti fan.
Okay.
And I was a Schumacher fan, which I guess being that it's those two, it's because it was Marlboro was the sponsor, and my dad chain smoked Marlboros, Marlboro Reds.
You wore a Marlboro jacket to school?
All the Marlboro miles clothed me. We got all our cooking utensils from it. Pretty much, I mean, Dad probably still has those things that he probably has credit on the account over there. If I called up Marlboro, they'll probably just send me whatever I want. But yeah, that was the early on days of doing it. I was around NASCAR a lot as a kid too, so you know, I've always been a race fan. I just let other things kind of get in the way of watching it because you know we kind of prioritize you know what's important at different points in our life, and it's cool that racing's come back around though because I really do enjoy it, and now I've started watching more Indy, and the NASCAR thing, the way the format just throws me off, and I really can't get into it right now. But
yeah, see, I grew up Southern boy, Mississippi family. NASCAR was the thing. I mean, stock car racing in general. It wasn't just NASCAR. It was the weekend stock car races down the road at the nearest town or wherever the track was. So I grew up with a lot of that NASCAR stuff that we watched and were followed dramatically. But to me, that fell off when all the cars went to these uniform cars with different badges.
yeah,
I liked it back in the day when if you were a Ford guy, you were rooting for a Ford car that looked like a Ford car because it was a Ford car. They had to have produced that car and produced it in such quantity that it fit the stock car model. But if you were a Dodge guy, you had all the Mopar cars. You know, you had Richard driving that, you know, Superbird type car.
You didn't have the Toyota Camry and the Ford Taurus driving around the track.
That are both exactly the same.
Yeah.
They both fit in the exact same frame and they are the exact same shape and model. All of that has changed so much, and I get it. They were trying to increase performance and increase uniformity of performance so that the racing was better, but I don't know, it lost me a little bit.
Well, speaking of things that aren't like they used to be, I have to take this a little bit to a serious place. One of our dear friends and the last guest on our podcast before we took our break is not exactly like he used to be either.
That is true.
It's very sad. Our dear buddy Nick Parsons had a major stroke. If you remember, if you go back and watch that episode, Nick is, man, heck of a singer-songwriter, an amazing barbecue guy, and just a hell of a family man. And he and I had lunch on a Friday. I brought him over here to the shop, and he met some of the guys. And on Tuesday, while on vacation with his family, he woke up feeling like what he thought was vertigo. So he went to the ER, and while sitting in the ER, he had a massive stroke, brainstem stroke. Luckily, he was in there, and they were able to catch it. Unfortunately, it relapsed and had another. As he was getting better, he had another one, and it hit a little harder, did a little more damage. But as you can attest, we've both seen Nick, and we know he's going to recover well. He's going to fight tooth and nail to get himself back to where he was before. And so you've seen him more recently than I have through you guys' connection at your
Physical therapy.
Physical therapy. Thank you. But I want to send a real heartfelt message to Nick and let him and Courtney and the girls know we love him and want him to get better, and anything we can do to help that out would be not too big of an ask for either one of us, I don't think, at this point.
See, you can get serious, but I'll tell you, I'm still mad at him. I was going in for cancer surgery, and he has to show me up by having a major stroke and having to recover from that. And so here I am going through cancer surgery, having to think about the fact that Nick is worse off than I am at the moment. And
And I'm just sitting here thinking, are my friends idiots for having medical events to one-up each other? I'm pretty sure that's the way this goes.
I mean, I didn't run off to Florida to have mine. I mean,
I mean, if you're going to do it in a nice place.
I should have. I should have. But no, I didn't do that. I have to say, Nick, I saw him at therapy. He is working his tail off to get better, and I give him a huge shout out for that. Because it's a long road to recovery, and it's going to be a long road for them. But he is doing everything in his power to get it done. And with that benefit that you mentioned that we did for him, was one of the first things I got back to playing with the band. I had not played with you guys in what, 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And when I knew the benefit was coming, I still wasn't playing. My neuropathy was still bothering me. I didn't have the stamina, but I said, come hell or high water, I'm playing with the band at the fundraiser because it's for Nick.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair and brutally honest, he was the first one whenever you announced your medical event. He was one of the first ones that reached out and was like, hey, what can we do? And he organized a fundraiser for you.
Absolutely.
And packed the house with people and musicians, and just made it a hell of a night. We raised a lot of money for you.
Yep.
Well, then when the same thing happened, whenever that happened to Nick, of course I was trying to figure out how we could organize anything, and about that time Adam Green from Max Barbecue, Wes Alexander from Marshall Brewing, and Zach Rowell from Hasty Bake all called, and they're like, hey, we got to make this thing happen. We're gonna make it big. And they hosted it at Marshall, had a bunch of auction for whiskeys, and I mean, every barbecue guy in the state, I think, pretty much brought over food, and people gave and gave and gave, and we were able to do the same thing for Nick, which was really, really cool. And that's what I love about our friendship and our community is we have such a strong network of givers.
Absolutely.
That are in our lives.
Absolutely. And what was funny was that night, Wes, because it was at his place, everybody kept coming up to him, thanking him for organizing it, thanking him for putting it together, thanking him for everything he did for it. And he kept telling people, he goes, all I did was answer the phone.
Yeah. Because
I started getting calls from everybody. And that just tells you who Nick is. And along with the community, the barbecue community in particular. But that tells you exactly who Nick is. That everybody and their dog was immediately like, what can we do? What do we need to do? How can we help? And everybody pitched in and did an amazing job.
It was all hands on deck. I mean, we even had some, I mean, obviously our band is 6 pieces. We're not exactly a small band, and it's a smaller stage there at Marshall. And we had us, and we had another band that was 5 or 6, big rock band. And so, we get there, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to put these bands on there. And so I reached, our buddy Kyle was hanging out, and I said, hey, we need plywood. And he didn't hesitate, jumped in his truck, ran over and picked up plywood from a local hardware store, ran it back.
Wherever it came from. It may have come from some construction site somewhere if he found that first.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it was great. And, thank you to the other bands that pitched in, Shelly Barber Band, Something of the Somethings, and Beggar's Whiskey. You guys rocked. You did a great job. And, again, it's part of that community of whether it be music or barbecue or whatever else. When this popped up, they started contacting me saying, hey, what can we do?
Yeah.
It wasn't a matter of, hey, you think we can turn this into something where we all make a lot of money or we can get paid? Not a single thing was ever said about, what do we get? It was, what can we do?
And I have to say, it wasn't just local folks that got involved. One of the auction items that was auctioned off at this was lifetime tickets to Zach Bryan concerts.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach's dad.
Zach's dad talked to Zach and got approval to give away like any Zach Bryan concert anywhere, and that was one of the items we were able to auction off. And so a big shout out to that family for stepping up in that way.
Yeah, for sure. Man, there was like a week stay at one of the
A hotel
Grand Caymans or somewhere.
Yeah, down in the Bahamas or somewhere down there.
Yeah, Bahamas, I think.
Some beautiful location.
There was a lot of cool stuff that people just donated and didn't, it was all about Nick, and that was cool. And again, we wish him well and hope he gets better, and we can get him back on one of these with us at some point, and we can talk about the whole experience. And
if you haven't seen the video, it is on our YouTube page, the Smokey Guys. It would be about 2 videos back because it was the last one we did, and that was the weird thing when we started to kick this back up, and I was going back and reviewing the old videos when I realized the last video we did was with Nick. I mean, you couldn't ask for better.
Oh no, like I say, it was very emotional thing, and luck with everything. We'll get through it.
Yep.
We'll help Nick get there, and I don't know. What do you think of that cigar now? Let's try to lighten the mood just a little bit.
We're about halfway. I'm about halfway through the stick.
Same.
Almost. And I will tell you, the flavor is getting stronger the longer I smoke it. I'm picking up more specific wood notes than I was earlier. I can tell you, I'm picking up a little oak.
Yeah.
A little dark chocolate. And I know a lot of people talk about the chocolatiness of a cigar, but very specifically a dark chocolate, but not a bitter dark chocolate.
Yeah, I get a little I was getting a little dark dark roast coffee.
Okay.
Almost from it, not in a weird enhanced way, but just a very natural. But yeah, right, and the cocoa and yeah, just or cacao.
Cacao.
What are we dealing with over here? Are we dealing with cocoa or cacao?
Was this going to be chocolate or was it going to be cocaine?
Oklahoma is cocoa.
Okay, there you go.
It's Oklahoma. It's cocoa.
No marshmallow notes. Sorry.
Well, hopefully we'll get to have Lewis on this podcast sometime.
Well, if we could ever talk him into coming back to Tulsa.
Yeah, it's hard to get him here.
Man, if only we had an event coming up where he was going to be in town. There's a little thing Tulsa has. It's called Oktoberfest. You may have heard of one.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And Tulsa just happens to have the #1 Oktoberfest in the country.
We mentioned that on our last podcast, and the link is on there for people to vote if they have been to the Tulsa Oktoberfest.
So I'm thinking that might be a great opportunity for us to get him on board with doing one of these, and maybe we could even do it on site at the Oktoberfest.
That would be nice.
We'll see what we can do.
done some from there before.
We'll have to see what we can do to make that happen. So, well, I don't know where we're at time-wise, but
I think we're pretty good. I will say a couple of things just as housekeeping stuff. Like KP said earlier, if you're enjoying this, let us know. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, all of that fun stuff. You guys know how the algorithms work. I have no clue. I consider it all witchcraft.
right?
I don't know how they decide what to push and what not to push, but I do know that cigar and whiskey stuff is not pushed as much as other things, just simply because they are considered vices, and they don't want to push vices. They'll push all of the political stuff you want, but not vices. So if you're part of the cigar community, welcome, and like and subscribe and let us know you're here. Other than that, follow KP on Facebook. What's your Facebook?
At KP Troubadour or at Kevin Price Band. I can't even say my own name. So
easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at KP Troubadour on most social medias. Obviously, our band is at Kevin Price Band. Pulls up Kevin Price and the Closers. What about you?
I am a CR Parsons comedian on Facebook, CR Parsons Comedy, other places, Instagram and what have you. Try those two. One of them will work. If you check out my Facebook, go back and check out some of my old videos. I started a series called This Might Kill Me But First. When I started this cancer journey, before I even had the heart surgery, and just kind of had a daily post that was just honest about what I was going through. And it has gotten a lot of good attention, and people seem to enjoy it. And you can go back and see who I used to be.
Fair enough.
Back when I had hair.
That'll be a shocker for some people.
No kidding. Well, I am thoroughly enjoying this cigar. Thank you so much for it. I'm CR Parsons. I'm one of the Smokey Guys.
I'm KP, and I'm the other Smokey guy.
Stay
Stay
smoky.
smoky.